Hello, my name is Carrie. Welcome to my tiny little kitchen. I have been cooking since I was a child. Hello, today we're going to be making tandoori chicken wings. The first step is we need canola oil. I'm going to turn the burner onto low heat and put our oil. I have 1/4 cup of oil measured out. Put our oil into a medium skillet. Next, we're going to take our spices. We are using ground cumin. We have 3 tablespoons of ground cumin. We have curry powder. And we have 1 tablespoon of the curry powder. We have garlic powder. We have 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And we're using ginger. 1 teaspoon of ginger. I like sea salt. We're adding 2 teaspoons of sea salt and cayenne pepper. And this is just 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I'm going to mix all of those together in a bowl with a fork. Meanwhile, our oil is heating and our spices are mixed together. And we want to add our spices to the oil. We'll stir those in. I'm using a silicone bowl scraper because it will not melt when it touches the pan. A plastic bowl scraper might. So we want to cook our spices until they start to sizzle a little bit in the pan, and we should be able to smell a very nice aroma from them as well. They should start to sizzle and to darken a tiny bit. You'll want to cook the spices until they start to sizzle in the pan and darken a little bit, and that would be on a medium-low heat, and we'll let them sizzle for about 20 to 30 seconds. Then turn off the heat and put your spices and oil into a large bowl. Preferably a glass or a metal bowl, not a plastic one. Now I have some red wine vinegar. We need just 1/3 of a cup that I already have measured out. We're going to add that to our spices and whisk it together. We also need 1 cup of plain yogurt. I like to use Greek yogurt. You can use 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt or 1 cup of plain regular yogurt, whichever one you prefer. Just make sure that it's a plain unsweetened yogurt. And we'll whisk the yogurt in to mix with our spices and vinegar. This smells really wonderful. And here's our mixed tandoori marinade. Now I have 4 to 5 pounds of chicken wings. The wing and the drum have been separated from each other. I prefer just the chicken wing drumettes. I've washed it and trimmed any extra skin or fat from the meat and then patted them dry with a paper towel. And now I'm going to add the chicken to our marinade. It is always important to have very clean hands and work surfaces when you are making any recipe in your kitchen, especially when you are working with meats. So after I washed this chicken and dried it and put it onto this platter, I used bleach to clean my countertops and my sink and the cutting board that I used to cut the chicken on. So we don't want to have any bacteria that causes any kind of stomach sickness. And also, if you're sick with a cold or some other disease, then you don't want to be cooking and spread that to other people. So cleanliness and good health will help make your kitchen a happy kitchen and make the people that you cook for happy and healthy as well. So I'm just going to add the rest of this chicken. Anything that comes in contact with raw meat has to be very thoroughly cleaned. So what I'm doing now is I'm just stirring the chicken to make sure that all of it gets coated with the tandoori sauce. After all of the chicken is well coated and covered in the sauce, I will put the bowl into the refrigerator. We need to let the chicken sit in the sauce for a minimum of 10 minutes. Or if you like, you can cover with plastic and let it sit for up to 24 hours inside of the refrigerator before you cook it. So all of the chicken is well covered in the sauce. I'm going to place this bowl into the refrigerator and let the chicken sit for at least 10 minutes before we cook it. I allowed our chicken wing drumettes to marinate for about 20 minutes, and while they were marinating, I put a pot of rice into the rice cooker. So now it's time to cook. So we're going to turn, you can cook these on your barbecue, or you can cook these in the broiler of your oven. So I've turned the broiler on, and we'll get our chicken wings onto a foil-lined pan, only because that is easier to clean than a pan that doesn't have foil on it. While the wings were marinating, I washed all of the dishes, and I used bleach to disinfect everything that touched the raw chicken meat. The first time that I made this recipe was for a 4th of July picnic that I went to with my church in Chico, California. So these chicken wings can be served room temperature like I did at the picnic. I packed a picnic basket. I made a coleslaw, tandoori chicken drumettes, and cookies. And that was a very nice picnic. I don't remember where I first found the recipe. I just remember what a wonderful time our family had the first time that I made it. And that's part of what cooking is about. It's the happy times spent with family, and those happy family memories, or at least that's one of the reasons why I enjoy cooking so much, is because of being able to share with others. So I'm trying to get my chicken all in a single layer so that it will cook evenly. This is such a simple recipe that has so much flavor. We have all of our chicken wings in the foil-lined pan. Now I'm going to put them on the top rack of the broiler, part of my oven. And we'll set the timer for 5 minutes. And in 5 minutes, we'll pull out the pan and turn the chicken over. The timer just went off. Our first 5 minutes are up. And our chicken drumettes are just lightly browned. I actually think that they need to cook a tiny bit longer before we turn them over. So I'm going to put them back under the broiler. I would like them to look a little bit more golden brown before we turn them over. So I'm going to set my timer for another 2 minutes. Okay, I checked our chicken wings, and they're a little bit browner. So it's time to turn them over so that we can get both sides cooked. And chicken is a meat that you want to have fully cooked. So we'll turn all of these over and then put them back in the oven. You can see the difference in the color when we turn these over, which ones have been cooked, or which side has been cooked and which side hasn't. This is also a dish that's nice any time of year, but especially nice to cook in the summertime because you can barbecue it or cook it in the broiler and you don't have to have the oven on for a long time. Okay, all of our chicken is turned over. I'm going to place it back under the broiler for 10 more minutes. I'm checking our chicken wings after 5 minutes, and you can see that they're starting to brown a little bit. So I've lowered the rack and the broiler. I'm going to place these back in for another 5 to 10 minutes until they're completely finished cooking. So we started out on the top rack of the broiler, and now I've moved the rack to the bottom position to prevent our chicken from burning. I'm using silicone pot holders because the broiler heats at a heat of over 500 degrees and I don't want to get burned. I just pulled our chicken wings out of the oven from under the broiler. Tandoori style is an Indian style of cooking over an open fire. So that's why these are broiled or cooked on a barbecue. The name actually comes from the type of dish called a tandoor. So tandoori style cooked meats are marinated in a yogurt and spice mixture and then grilled or cooked over an open fire. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you'll try making tandoori chicken wings for you and your family. Remember to season everything you do with love, and thank you for watching.